Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the Secret Services Celebrity Psychic Readings. I'm going to be your reader for today, Quintari Shakir. We're going to be doing a reading on Stacey Abrams, who's now, she's won the Democratic ticket in the state of Georgia, and she's going to be running for governor, and she's a black woman. Alright, so I'm going to be doing a reading on her personality and her childhood, and then we'll also be trying to figure out what we can do to help her to accomplish her goals. Oops. Okay, so the first thing about Stacey Abrams is that she really cares a lot about serving the community and serving really just providing service to the community. She really cares about things being either free or cheap for people to access, and I also think that she wants to, lower prices for things and increase people's incomes. I think that she wants people who volunteer. She wants to definitely increase the amount of volunteers that we have in different communities. I'm definitely seeing her very much caring about establishing volunteer tutoring programs for low-income students, for low-income people who live in low-income areas, giving them computer training classes, coding courses. I'm really seeing her trying to destabilize the economy around knowledge. Specifically, the fact that you have to go to college or pay money for pay money to acquire certain information, and I really hear that she wants to make information and education more accessible for low-income people. I'm also hearing that she's someone that has pulled herself up by her bootstraps, but I don't think that has allowed for her not to see inequality. I really don't think that that's even invisible to her. I'm very much hearing that she's been involved in a lot of, I don't know why I hear and this may not be correct, but I'm hearing housing, and I'm hearing fair housing, zoning, education, and political rallies. She's very grassroots in how she's come about building her political career, and she's definitely a praying woman. The next card that's coming out for her is the Artist card. They're saying that Stacey Abrams is, I think in her spare time she either paints, draws, or she listens to music. She may be a singer, but I am hearing that she's very religious. And I'm also hearing, but it's not religious in the sense that she's a very staunch Bible thumper, or that she's or she's rigid in her beliefs, but much rather I'm hearing that she's very spiritual and very she reads her Bible for inspiration. But the Artist card is specifically talking about her being able to see symbols. I think that Stacey Abrams is intuitive, or that or that her ancestors, particularly a grandmother, gives her information through claircognizance. She just has this knowing about people or knowing about things, and I think that allows her to not get tripped up, because I'm really saying that she transmits lots and lots of through osmosis. She's able to acquire lots of information from the environment around her, and I'm seeing that this also helps her with her creative abilities as well. But really, her creativity is more of a hobby for her. Although she could, when she becomes governor, she could definitely, and I'm saying when because I'm speaking it into existence, but when she becomes governor, she could definitely establish a lot of arts programs here in the state of Georgia. The next card that's coming out for her is a Hermit card. The Hermit card is speaking about her being someone that is introverted. She spends a lot of time, a lot of alone time plotting and planning her success. I'm seeing where she's very imaginative. She daydreams about what it's like to be in a position of power, to be, you know, kind of like a celebrity who's known for her work. And I see her wanting to be on CNN. I also see her wanting to just really run. I see her kind of trying to treat, you know, being governor as being a queen of a small. She's like, you know, I'm queen. You know, I'm the queen of, you know, this area, this territory. You know, and this is bringing importance to my life. She's the femme fatale card. She's a man eater. She's a man eater, not in terms of her relationships, but Spirit is saying that she's a man eater in terms of destroying the system of patriarchy, because she's so, like, she's hyper intelligent. And she's able to come off very masculine, and she isn't afraid to cut you off or chop you off, but she also knows how to play the game. She can appear, when she needs to, she can appear non-threatening and demure, but at the end of the day, she will always have this energy and presence that, you know, she will always have an energy and presence that is like a meat tenderizer. You know, she'll beat you to a pulp intellectually. They're also saying that she has a hidden erotic energy, and I won't be discussing too much of that, but on a personal level, she has a hidden erotic energy that where she, you know, she very much enjoys pleasure and pleasuring the body. So the next card is a student card. This is saying that she's always learning. So you can expect for her to be someone that does a lot of like she will go into a community and, you know, really talk to the community, like knocks on everyone's door to make sure that you know, she not only, you know, introduces herself, but she also, you know, engages you in a way that, you know, that makes you want to communicate your interests to her. So she has this ability to, because she's a student card, this means that she has this ability to get other people to talk and make them feel like they're experts on situations, even if they're not. But this gives her critical insight into social problems such as gentrification. She can talk to the people that are most affected by gentrification to get a better understanding of it, and then understand she can then pinpoint their misunderstandings of gentrification. So with the next card is the Destroyer card. The Destroyer card is saying that Stacey Abrams is a masterful bridge burner. She's definitely about shaking things up, a very radical woman. I'm hearing that even when she was in school, you know, she played, I want to say that she played the game, but really a large part of, you know, how she was able to get to where she is right now is due to her her killing old beliefs. She's someone that transforms really, really quickly. She learns, like, if you tell Stacy, if she goes to a counseling session and you say, Stacy, this is your issue, she works on it within that week, and then she's fine. She evolves. She evolves rapidly. She's good at taking criticism. The next card is speaking about her as having, you know, she's always someone that looks at things with fresh eyes. She's going to work tirelessly for you, and this is not to just promote her, but this is just about her work ethic. And that Stacey Abrams is a woman that when she upon first meeting you, she treats you as though, you know, she treats you as though she's meeting the president herself. You know what I'm saying? She makes you feel as though you are important. And in addition to that, when she speaks as though this is her first time ever having to give a speech, and this allows for her to convey new ideas. And, you know, even if she sticks to the scripts that are given to her to read, there's a certain poise and charisma that she can deliver that no one else can, simply because she's able to look at things with fresh eyes. She always has stage fright, and then she overperforms. If that makes any sense. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna answer a couple of questions about Stacey Abrams. Hold on one second. I have my questions here. My questions. Stacey Abrams. Oh, okay. All right. So the first question is, what was her childhood like? So we're gonna look into Stacey Abrams' childhood. And your number is 9. Okay, from what I can see about Stacey Abrams' childhood, and just to let you all know that if I misgender someone, then that simply just means that this person either has masculine energy or feminine energy. I don't really read genders because we have more than, 2 genders. There's not just, man and woman. There's also not just, trans man, trans woman. There are other, genders. And there are new ones that are always being created, so I only read energy. Okay, so with that being said, with Stacey Abrams, I'm seeing here where in Stacey Abrams' life, she may have been as a child, she may have been a victim of sexual abuse by a man who had an addiction to alcohol or drugs. And I'm also seeing that this man may have been either a family member. If not a family member, then this was a family friend that did this to her. But I am saying where a grandmother intervened in this situation, and this grandmother may have helped to raise Stacey Abrams. But that's also why I said earlier in the reading that I'm hearing like a grandmother's energy, surrounding her and giving her very critical information about her campaign and how to deal with people. So with that being, so in addition to that, I'm seeing part of her childhood being where, maybe her dad was stringing her mom along, or, kind of sort of playing games in the relationship. But I'm seeing where she did go back and forth between the homes. So she stayed in, if there was a 2-parent home, then she, was going back and forth between her and her grandmother, or she was going back and forth between her mom and her dad. So with that being said, Stacey Abrams is not, she knows what abuse and arguments look like and feel like. With that being said, I think that she has a very close relationship with her mom, and she cared deeply about this grandmother. But I'm also seeing here where Stacey Abrams knew from a very, very young age that there was something special about her and her way of thinking. No, she didn't exactly know what that was, but it was the grandmother that really instilled this sense of pride in her intellectual abilities. I'm hearing that Stacey Abrams had this very charismatic personality, and although she may not have been the most popular person in school, she was she was known to be the most stable. And in addition to that, I am seeing her as, as she evolved closer to high school, she became a more capable leader, because they're showing me her more popular, and she may have been in student government in school. But I do see that she was always, she was born very intelligent. Let's see. So as far as things go with what I have to say about the abuse, I am seeing where either this man, either the authorities were called on this man, or there were men in the family that found out about this and handled it. I am seeing where this man was, you know, he was basically, let's put it like this, he was put in a life or death situation. I'm not exactly sure if this man is alive or not. Let's just assume that he is, but this isn't like, you know, to spill all her tea, but that's all to say that she's someone that doesn't have a nasty or negative relationship with the men gender, but much rather she has a deep appreciation for the positive elements of masculinity. You know, the ability to protect, the ability to go, you know, the ability to have courage, go to war, you know, build roads that, you know, haven't been built before. Now with the grandmother, I'm seeing where, you know, there is like, you know, this grandmother helping to take care of her while, you know, either the father or a father figure, maybe a mom's boyfriend, was stringing her along. In addition to that, let's see what the cards are saying. The cards are saying that the mom, that she lived with this grandmother because the mom was under a lot of surveillance. And I think that this man had a lot of, I think this man, I think he may have either had like a drinking problem, or he was just restricted from doing a lot of things, and Stacy didn't need to be around him. Now, when it comes to the mom kicking this man out of her life, I do see where, you know, things ended, you know, tons and tons of fights. I'm also seeing heartache and pain and instability around, you know, with the mom. Especially when the grandmother passed away. Like, this sent shockwaves through the family for her. But I'm also hearing that it was the grandmother's death that really sparked for things to. It was the grandmother's death that gave Stephanie the inspiration to become what she is now. It's kind of like, you know, my grandmother, it's like my grandmother was so important to me, and, you know, that was the greatest pain that I felt at that age. And, you know, I think it also unlocked within her her greatest strength. With all that being said, the Knight of Swords and then the Death card, what this is telling me is that she had to make a very militant decision at the time of her grandmother's death about what she wanted for her life, and to go forward with it with passion. And she never let that passion go. So with that being said, we're now going to get into how can we help Stacey Abrams to get her campaign, how can we help her to get elected as governor if you are a supporter of her. And for Black Spectrum Network, we are a supporter of Stacey Abrams. All right, so the first question is, I'm gonna ask Stacy's ancestors to give me information about what Stacy wants to accomplish, and then what they want her to accomplish. Okay, so what Stacy wants to accomplish, the first thing that's one thing that Stacy wants to accomplish for herself right now is, I think that if she's married, or either she's married or she's close to being married, and she has a relationship. And I'm saying where she wants stability in this relationship. It's kind of like that she wants a power couple situation, or she wants, you know, to have like first man, you know, she wants to be the first lady to be governor, and have, you know, the first black lady to be governor, and have a black, you know, first man husband. And so I'm saying that's what she really wants this dream for herself to manifest. It's like she's always wanted to see herself as this, you know, very powerful queen that ruled over, you know, a land, and she had a husband on her side that was there to provide her with love. They're also saying that she wants to get away from her past. That there's a dark side to her past that she doesn't really like to talk about in her childhood, and that's what really fuels for her to pursue this political career so aggressively. But I'm also hearing that what she went through as a child was necessary to make sure that she could withstand social oppression. So there are some people that they're clearly victims of racism and racism, sexism, and classism and other interlocking oppressions. But for her, she's so mentally resilient that she didn't get caught up in that those interlocking oppressions are a mess. So she didn't get caught up in that mess, so to speak. But much rather she didn't intellectualize it. She didn't analyze it. She didn't allow for herself to be victimized by it. And she wants to erase it from her memory. It's kind of like she doesn't want to on a personal level remember that sort of violation. The next card that I get for her is the Queen of Cups, where she really wants to she wants to trust her hunches, follow her intuition, and I'm seeing that she wants to just continue working in this position to nurture herself. It's like she likes to rise to the challenge. Being governor for her is about seeing her vision for Georgia manifest, but it's also about working things out karmically, where she feels that in maybe in a past lifetime that she didn't live her destiny out, she didn't live her destiny out in a past lifetime. Let's put it that way. And she feels that there's something that's really, really important for her to do, an important work. And she actually, while some people that run for office and even get elected into office, can just read from a speech and say, hey, this is what I plan on doing. Stacey Abrams has a very clear picture for what she wants this to look like. But the other thing that she wants is a child. I'm saying that she wants children. I'm saying that she wants to, or she has children. She wants to take care of this. She wants to take care of this child and bring this child around, raise this child to be in the spotlight of Georgia, and to and for this child to feel like I'm important. I'm important because my mom is important. My bloodline is important, and it's almost like this wanting to be governor is going to I guess you can kind of say help her cerebrally, in that it's more about trying to forget where she, not so much forget where she came from, but trying to forget what's happened to her, so that trying to forget what's happened to her in her past, so that she can just feel better. It's kind of like she's like, I can't believe, I can believe this happened to me, but I can't believe this happened to me. I never wanted to be a victim, though I'm not a victim. This did happen to me, and I might not, be outspoken about it, but this does play a part in, why she wants to, escape from that past. How do I say it? That past trauma. I also feel from these cards, what they're telling me is that she will definitely, in her position, try to push legislation against sex trafficking. Now, what do her ancestors want for her? Her ancestors say that she needs. Her ancestors are saying that she needs to, in these next few months, use her tongue, and it's like, hey, you have a once in a lifetime opportunity. She's multiple times in a lifetime opportunity for her to use your voice and to really get a message out there that you care about, not what other people care about. That's the thing. That's what her ancestors are saying. Her ancestors are saying that she doesn't need to people please. She doesn't need to please any particular community and just say any particular demographic, even a demographic that looks like her own, because they want for her. They're like, hey, we want for you to, use your brilliant ideas to put forth things that you want, because these people are getting you elected, but there are tons and tons of people, and you are running on these platforms about equality and education, helping the poor person, and trying to. I'm also hearing that she cares a lot about the LGBT community as well. So I'm hearing that her ancestors saying, be radical in what it is, be radical in your platform's mission, because you're opening doors for people. And even if your platform isn't successful, even if this campaign message isn't successful in helping you to secure office, it will provide fertile soil for future local movement. Basically, it will provide fertile soil for local politicians to run on similar platforms that are very explicit in what their message is about. Okay? So the next thing that I see here is I get the Page of Swords card. This Page of Swords card is telling me that she needs to also, go back to some of that she needs to go back to imagining as though she were a child. Imagining as though, imagining herself at, 7, 8 years old, looking at the television and watching the news and saying, oh, this is what I would have done. This is how I would have looked. This is how I would have reacted. This is how I would have acted. Because that's going to really spice up her charisma. Her ancestors are also saying that she needs to take a rest. They're saying that she needs to take a rest at least one day of the week, because they're saying that she is completely overwhelmed, mentally overwhelmed with the amount of support that she's gotten, and she's overwhelmed with the idea that she could actually win. But Spirit is like, take a day to rest. Take a day to unplug. Take a day to stop being Stacey Abrams, the candidate for governor. Take a day to just be my homegirl Stacy from down the street. Because they're saying that they want you to be more balanced, and how you handle balancing your personal life right now will determine how you handle balancing your personal life when you're elected. The next card that I'm getting for Stacey Abrams is the Death card, and they're saying that she needs to get ready. She needs to prepare for serious change in her life, and I'm hearing very strongly that she can be Georgia governor, and I'm also hearing that she needs to prepare for those changes to come in terms of, especially in terms of her flying out to different places internationally. I'm definitely hearing places in Africa that want her to just come visit, and just for her to give her story, and for her to expand her thinking, because she's not just going to be doing work here in the States. She's also going to have influence overseas. All right, so what does she need us to do to help her? And then I'm going to ask what's coming to her. So what is it that we can do to help Stacey Abrams? I get the card for the Two of Hazards, the Four of Swords, and then the Six of Hazards. These cards are all telling me that one thing that we can do to help Stacey, Stacey Abrams is to, first things first. Spirit is saying that for those who are unable to vote, for those of you all that are unable to vote, it is your job to get people that have the ability to vote on your behalf. Okay, so if you have a cousin that never votes but they can vote, tell them to vote on your behalf, because we need a higher voter. I'm definitely hearing that she needs high voter turnout. So yes, if you are unable to vote because you are a convicted felon, then get someone else to vote for you, especially people that are politically apathetic. Push them to vote for you. Offer them money to vote for you. Hey, I'll give you $10 to just go out and vote, Or I'll take you out to eat if you go out to vote. And you know what? You may not care for this kid. You may not know anything about politics, but do this for me. I'm encouraging you all to tap into your networks and allow for other people to be your representative, okay? Or at least have a conversation if you are a felon and say, hey, you know what? This is something that I've been studying. This is something I'm knowledgeable about. Because, I don't have the ability to change the system, but I do have the ability to work around the system and acquire knowledge and give it to you. So that maybe you can vote for a candidate that can change my outcome, and then I'll have more ability to move around in society to be a help to it. So yes, that's the first thing. If you cannot vote, vote. And if you can vote, go and vote. That's okay. That's what we can do to help her. Very simple. Now, if you can vote, they're also saying what's going to help her is to figure out who your local politicians are and match their do a compare and contrast. Yes, sit down, do a Venn diagram. Take 20-30 minutes out. Do a Venn diagram and compare and contrast Stacey Abrams' platform with other candidates that you're thinking about supporting in order to help her to have an ideological establishment that supports her on the local and state levels. Also, she also needs help in the Senate, so make sure that you look out for who's running for Senate so that she can have help on the federal levels, very obviously, but really local support is what she needs. Okay, anyway, now the Four of Swords card is saying, if you made your bed, you laid in it. Okay, this is all letting me know that if you want her to win, then you need to make sure at least once a month you share an article about Stacey Abrams. You share her photo, or you just share, a status, or you talk to someone about Stacey Abrams. Because if you don't, at least once a month, and she doesn't win, well, you made your bed and you laid in it. It takes a collective effort for these things to happen, and that is what Spirit is saying. The next card is the Six of Hazards, and this card usually talks about a prize that's being hung in front of you. So this is letting me know that one way that you can help Stacey Abrams to win, this is to pray for her and to pray for this outcome, because this is if you're a supporter of her. If you're not a supporter of her, pray for your candidate and definitely ask your ancestors to surround that candidate with success and tremendous support from the counties that are the counties that don't normally swing in their favor. Okay, so with Stacey Abrams, they're saying pray for the counties that don't swing in her favor. Pray that she becomes the prize that they're looking for. Pray that she becomes the answer or the solution that they're looking for. Pray that she becomes she helps them to unlock the secrets that lie within them through her campaign messages, and therefore they have this overwhelming desire to see her win. So that's what we need to help her do. So if you cannot vote, get someone to vote in your place that does not normally vote. If you can vote, whether you can or cannot vote, use your voice, use your platform to share information about her at least once a month, and then pray for her. Pray for her success, and pray for the hearts and minds of those that are, neutral or unsure of which way they want to go, or maybe they are misguided and they need to be guided back to their to someone who speaks their language or their truth. Okay, so now I'm gonna do what's coming for her, and does she have a chance at winning governor? Whoops. Oh Lord, I should have just went ahead of this last shuffle. Crap, man. I just threw the cards just flew away. Okay, one more shuffle. So to show what's coming for her. And does she have a chance to become governor? Okay, if Stacey Abrams is married, what's coming for her? I see conflict coming from her from definitely like the opposition. Like, I think that she's going to have a very tough time campaigning for governor. I definitely think that she's going to have to she's going to have to be on guard, because the opposing candidates aren't going to they are going to develop new racial and gendered strategies to demean her, and I think that they are going to come by way of attacking her policies and pitting like they're going to say things like, okay, well, this is going to benefit this person and this person and this person, but how does it benefit, those of these people? And it's going to be coded as she's trying to bring parity to these different communities. She's going to try to bring parity to these different marginalized communities at the expense of you, at the expense of what you have. And it's not taking these people are taking from you rather than working for it. And that's they're going to respect her, yes, but and that's what's going to make it hard. It's like the opposing party is going to treat her with respect to her character and for what she's built, and that's going to give their supporters a discourse they can repeat, where they'll say things such as, I really respect what she's made of herself, but I also feel like her policies are going to take from me. But I do see where they're going to try to bait her into retaliating, so they will try to smear her with just like little petty shit that she's done to try to make her seem like a villain. It's not really gonna be congruent with her public perception, so she doesn't really have to worry about it. She just has to make sure she doesn't feed into the slanderous rumors. But I'm also hearing where she may get married, or something may come to surface about her in regards to a relationship or an old marriage. And if she is not married, I do think that she may be married. And as far as what Spirit is saying for her becoming governor, I get the Judgment card, the Three of Wands, and then the Nine of Cups. And they're saying that it's going to be through swift, decisive action, and through she needs to take swift, decisive action, follow her gut, and this grandmother, Stacey Abrams, if you're listening to this, the intuitive, I just felt it thing, that's from a grandmother, that she's giving you information. Rely on her. Spirit is also saying that what else Stacey Abrams can do is try to stay grounded. Prayer, meditation, and make sure that you are always overflowing spiritually. That's why they want you to take a day break, because that day break is supposed to be spent rejuvenating, recharging, and pouring back into yourself. And this judgment card is saying, hey, you know, it all depends. It's not a clear road for her. You know, it's not a clear victory, but they are saying that her victory will have massive impact should it happen. Now, with that being said, thank you for tuning in to thank you for tuning in to the Secret Service's Celebrity Psychic Readings. I would love for you all to continue to support this channel. Please go to my Patreon. My Patreon has more readings like this about supporting the Black community. And please make sure that you all check out the wait list, where you can, for a limited time, get cheap psychic readings from me. Go ahead and check out the wait list, and subscribe to this video, like this video, share this video in your spiritual family. And go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com, purchase a private psychic reading, Quintaris.com to purchase a private psychic reading, and check me out on YouTube, where I do live streams every Wednesday at 9. Also, I'm going to be doing monthly horoscope readings, so be on the lookout for my monthly horoscope readings. Bye. I just wanna fly away. First class out of space.